In just a few months, students and graduates will see thousands of pounds added to their student debts under government plans. Now, the organisation dedicated to defending students might be defanged by that same government. Here's a headline from the Daily Mail. Government may stop working with National Union of Students and report it to Charity Commission over anti-Semitism claims, Minister warns. This is part of a pattern where the same MPs who plead for free speech then use state bodies to attack NGOs saying things they dislike. Last year, they tried it against Britain's leading race equality think tank, the Runnymede Trust. Conservative MPs reported the Runnymede Trust to the Charity Commission because they didn't like the evidence the Runnymede Trust was presenting about racism in Britain. They even tried to assail one of the least radical bodies in Britain. That's right, the Charity Commission investigated the National Trust for talking about the history of slavery. In this case, though, something intriguing is at work. The same politicians who loathe anti-racist campaigners are now accusing left-wing students of racism. The university's minister threatens to disengage from NUS. John Mann, the former Labour politician who called for more hostility to immigrants and blamed antisocial behaviour on Roma people, suggests NUS should be reported to the Charity Commission. And they do all this, they say, to protect people like me, Jews. They claim the answer is to follow the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism. That was the main demand of a letter from the Union of Jewish Students, which falsely included the signatures of several left-wing Jews on that letter, including me. That's right. I woke up to find my name on a racist letter. Now, calling this IHRA definition racist may seem like a stretch, but listen. The IHRA's examples of anti-Semitism are so focused on defending Israel that anti-Semites can freely sign up to the IHRA so long as they support Israeli violence against Palestinians. Austria's far-right Freedom Party was an early supporter of the text. At the same time, they were also trying to stop Jews buying meat that we can eat to make shechita, kosher slaughter, more difficult. The IHRA is useless then as a definition of anti-Semitism, but that's not what it's being used for. Its function is different. It claims that anyone who calls the state of Israel a racist endeavor is attacking me as a Jew. So there you have it. In our deeply racist world, Palestinians, who were ethnically cleansed in 1948 and still stateless today, cannot even talk about the facts of their dispossession without being harangued as racists. 122 Palestinian and Arab intellectuals wrote about the IHRA definition in The Guardian last year. They said, in recent years, the fight against anti-Semitism has been increasingly instrumentalized by the Israeli government and its supporters in an effort to delegitimize the Palestinian cause and silence defenders of Palestinian rights. Diverting the necessary struggle against anti-Semitism to serve such an agenda threatens to debase this struggle and hence to discredit and weaken it. Now, a body representing 7 million students stands accused because of some foolish tweets sent by the new president when she was a teenager. What of the student group attacking her? The Union of Jewish Students. As M. Hilton noted in Vashti, the new magazine for the Jewish left, I'm very proud to be involved with too, days after decrying NUS's disregard for anti-Semitism, UJS promoted and offered free tickets to last week's Jerusalem Post-London Conference on Fighting Anti-Semitism, whose keynote speakers included one of the UK's most Islamophobic MPs, Michael Gove, as well as far-right Israeli ministers Ayelet Shaked and Avigdor Lieberman, both of whom have a long history of anti-Palestinian racism. Shaked once called Palestinians snakes, and Michael Gove, claims a sizable minority of British Muslims are Islamists. The former Tory chair Saeed Avasi compared him to Donald Trump. So what's going on here? There's an old concept important to British imperialism: divide and rule. Get the victims of racism fighting among themselves to stop them fighting the empire. Here, it has a twist. White, Christian Europe, which gave us the blood libel, the pogrom, and the gas chamber, white Christian Europe, which murdered so many of my ancestors, now constructs us Jews as its protected minority, shielded from the savage hordes. Radicals terrorize Jews, they say. Anti-capitalism, anti-imperialism, Muslims, and the left. All these are painted as shadowy threats to Jews. It's a powerful claim. Conservative and liberal racists get to express all their racist anxieties in the language of anti-racism. They can imagine the barbarian colonized as uncivilized once again, this time by calling them Jew haters. This is the racist deployment of supposed anti-racism. Meanwhile, we have a prime minister who once penned and published a novel that described Jews like this: Sammy Katz, with a proud nose and curly hair, eyes like an unblinking snake. That same Jewish businessman who exploited immigrant workers and hung around in red light districts. A novel replete with racist tropes, including anti-Semitic tropes, from the guy who's now prime minister. And now an old photo has surfaced of the current Conservative chair in Ealing in London. Here he is, enjoying a night out in his younger years. I kid you not. The man pictured here in full Nazi regalia in the 1980s was scheduled to stand as a Tory candidate in next month's local elections. Why does all this matter? Anti-Semitism is now a potent charge for attacking progressive campaigns in coded racialized terms. That's particularly dangerous when anti-Semitism is a real, rising, deadly threat. Our synagogues have been attacked and worshippers murdered. Anti-Semitism is real. We need a campaign against it, not treating it as a sword with which to fight other battles. We, the left, want a world without racism, where everyone, from London to Gaza, may live in freedom.